going to develop, if it's going to be more of the same, or if there is going to be a bit of a turnaround potentially for Sparty here in map 2.
Well, Garpy's going to have the mobility, but it's Sparty that's going to have the utility. The piercing sight makes such a difference on this map. I mean, for automatic reasons, right? The rail is one of the stars of the show. And the wallhack always helps out a little bit. Garpy trying to get a bit of information. Definitely doesn't know where he is so far. However, has just given his position away to a Sparty that's lying in wait. He's used his piercing sight. He knows where Garpy is. Ooh. But yeah, the trap is going to get sprung. Unfortunately, that missed rail. Garpy is not going to be too shy of chasing that and getting some free damage or control at all. The heavy's going to spawn now. Finally takes it. Has to quickly turn around to collect. But hey, a small time waster at the end of the day. The Mega's there, knows hasn't been taken. If he catches him on the jump pad, which he will, how much damage is Sparty going to take? Oh, actually dishing out a significant amount. You can tell that Garpy was super happy, and another missed rail. Sparty, I know we've only just started, but these rails need to hit their mark. It's the only way he's going to get momentum here.
It's critical to get himself in the game early right now, as Garpy's starting to find himself a bit of control overall. 2 of the pickups already gained for himself, as he's doing a nice job of actually being able to roam around the map pretty much freely at this point. He's got his rockets now achieved, and this is where things could get quite damaging for Sparty. Although Garpy, knocked down fairly low, grabs the Mega to at least try and save himself for the meantime, but this could be really rough. Here comes the push straight down, the vertical shot barely missing. He's trying to hold on as he's fighting around, but he's so low. Surely Sparty gets an opener here on the board, and he will do, as he goes in with a full commit off the back of the LG.
Kind of surprised that we didn't see Garpy run away from that fight there, to be completely honest. He's now going to take a whole bunch of damage, while Sparty's deciding which weapon he wants to select to. Ooh. He's taking a lot of free damage, and now he's going to press the advantage. Misses the rail, but that was a hard shot anyway. He's going to go for it. Garpy goes for the Hail Mary Berserk, and even though the punch hits its mark, it doesn't do enough damage. That fight, once more, could have been really backwards for Sparty, getting caught with his pants down, trying to swap weapons, but he did so much damage to Garpy on the flip side, that doesn't really matter at all. But I want to remark on you, there's a lot of like specific champion matchup knowledge coming from here, right? Where Sparty running towards Mega, and when Garpy was on the middle of the map, you know, obviously he understands that he's going up against Doomslayer, so he has the small things where he's looking for an angle that only Doom could double jump to, and it almost becomes more obvious he's going to take those jumps because it gets him there quicker. Oh. What a shot! Hang on a second, Sparty really coming online on this second map, and by God, he needed it.
Oh, this
what
is
a shot!
Sick. He's really starting to get ramped up now, Ryan. Things might have been a bit of a slow burner at first, but now he's woke up, and he's got the lightning gun out as well to do even more damage, just carrying on with his absolute reign of terror at this point. 4 frags picked up. We're only 3 minutes into the game as well, so Garpy, the man that was dominating early on, it looked like he actually had majority of control, starting to slip off and lose that bit of early game form. Sparty has a commanding lead. He's going to look to try and grab even more and really take this one with both hands. Tri-bolt in hand, going to get denied there by the damage that's coming through off of Garpy, but he goes in anyway. He is trying to burn his way through the armor. He's got a ton more HP to play with. Backs off, realizing he needs to try and just slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, Garpy definitely making the decision of how much life do I consider a rail to be worth, because he knows that Sparty's going to survive the shot. Wow. The question is, how much damage are you prepared to take to land the direct damage of a rail, right? It's a very risky play. If he missed that shot, he would have probably gone in for the kill. He's going to miss the shot, but again, we're seeing Sparty go for these kind of crazy flicks. If anything, it's forcing respect. It's forcing Garpy to say, I'm not afraid to go for these crazy shots. And you got to respect it, mate. Don't run around the corner willy-nilly, because I'll go for it. Hits a beautiful shot. Another one. Garpy definitely railable at this health. He just needs to hit one more, but going up the jump pad might be suicide. Denies the armor. Very intelligent. But Garpy using the double jump to try and escape. What a rocket! Sparty running right into it, being a little bit too tunnel visioned, I think, to try and take this kill. But by all accounts, he can still get it. He just needs to hit the rail, and he can't at all. He can survive 2 here, though. 1 rail lands, forces him away. Sparty, I mean, he has to rocket jump, otherwise he's going to get chased, but he's very, very weak. Won't be very hard for Garpy to get it. He can't chase him towards the Mega anyway, but the trap is sprung! How did Garpy get there so quickly?
Oh, this is madness. It's the difference in play styles as well. Just the approach that we're seeing come through right now. Both of them just constantly trying to brawl into this one as they return fire. Garpy, the rambunctious rockets that he's been firing out, just constantly juggling Sparty, where he's been hitting some filthy rails as well. He's been looking good, but now Garpy wants a piece of the pie. Goes back in, trying to show just what he can do with his railgun. Lands the warning shot. Realizes his stack's much lower, though. Has to back off at least to try and gather his thoughts for a few moments. He's able to gain the Mega, puts himself in a bit more of a controlling position, but he needs some frags here. About halfway through the game at this point, so if he's going to get back into it, he needs to start putting his stamp on the server.
That was a temporary loss of information, but that's going to swiftly be undone. Garpy listening to the little peaks of Visor. He knows he's going to be nearby this heavy. Bit of a question mark. Why is he not here? What must he be trying to plan for me? In that case, it's going to be a trap, but Garpy getting way more damage. That tri-bolt melted Sparty down. And the rocket may not have done damage, but it's information!
Ooh.
Sparty dancing with the devil, going in with a jump pad, knowing full well that Garpy was there. I think that was almost a bit of a too bold of a play, Jackie.
Now he's fired up, though. This is the point where both of them are actually looking really on form, right? This is as close as it can be. When we were talking about the first map, how tight it looked. Again, it's happening here. The near misses as well have been ridiculous with these rows at this point. Just barely whizzing by, offering out free haircuts, Ryan. They're going to look to try and continue that as well. The prediction rocket is good. Sparty, barely even alive at that point, falls on his last legs as he already had 1 foot in the grave.
It just comes down to Garpy's rockets. When Garpy's got a rocket launcher in hand, you know he's going to make magic happen with it. How many of these situations is he just putting so much confidence in his, like, almost directs every single time? Near Visor now. Knows he's nearby. Going to be an uncontested heavy, knowing full well that Mega is going to be the next objective. How can he cut him off? I think Garpy's maintaining fantastic pressure here. And he's got a lot of control too. Now there's a fantastic delay in between Mega and Heavy. I think the natural mobility of Doomslayer means he can kind of beat Visor to the mark almost all the time. But now, Sparty can be defensive technically because he's got the frag lead, but trying to sit on a 1 frag lead versus Garpy, I mean, there's a reason I think he knows. Surely Sparty is letting me take these. You know, why isn't he here? What is Sparty trying to do? That's what Garpy's figuring out. Because right now, he's just running around the map and taking them for free. Has caught sight of Sparty. Sparty wants to try and bully him away from the Mega if he can. Now the mission's going to be undo some of that stack. He knows he's going to take it. We have to win the fight anyway. Completely knocked a mile away, but Garpy's not going to give up the vertical advantage. Misses a rail. Doesn't matter though. Both players pretty weak. Garpy's going to get information. Can hear Visor like a bull in a china shop as now he's running down. He's going to get the heavy. We have to decide how much stack is this guy going to have. We have to hit these rails, but if he's hitting tri-bolts like that, then maybe we're overstaying our welcome just a little bit. He hits 1 rail, and he's looking for more.
It's burned down so much time, though. These elongated fights are really just sucking any last second out of the clock, leaving it to essentially the point where this could go down to basically like a 5-6 frags at the end here, with just how close it's been in the last few seconds of the game. The tri-bolt coming back through from Garpy, trying to go for the prediction shot, spots him out, lands the rail as well, at least to put some damage on the board, as he knows he needs to step up to the plate right here, right now. Wants to go for the prediction play instead, starts roaming around. The rockets that have been the classic play the entire time, starting to rain down the death from above, but there's no one there to receive that gift. He's still on the move. That's the lightning gun pick backed up. Up the bounce pad, but let's see if he can bounce his way back into the action here, as he needs to do something soon. We've got 2 minutes left on the clock. He has everything he could want in terms of his stack, in terms of the weapons to play with, but Sparty, he's just wasting the time. All he's got to do is roam around and keep on bopping his way around the map.
And you know Garpy knows it. There's a reason. He asked the question to himself, why is he never really trying to fight me for these? The answer is always going to be because Sparty wants to take no risks. He wants to keep that utility of the piercing sight if he feels like he needs it. Right now, I think he's satisfied with at least just the audio information of where Garpy is. But fundamentally, he's trying to waste time. He's trying to keep it as far away as possible. He has a minute and a half. He's done a fantastic job of that so far. But if Garpy can keep him around, he's heard the Mega, he's got timing, he knows that Sparty is Mega stacked, but he hits 1 rail, needs a few more of those. If he can just keep Sparty on the end of a leash here, maybe he can make this comeback. But right now, the defensive play's been phenomenal. Garpy,
He doesn't see him.
No, and he couldn't hear him either. Sparty playing this defensive game perfectly so far. Kind of surprised Garpy didn't actually check the angle, like just in case.
I mean, the thing is that could change it and actually flip it on our heads, right, is the fact that it could work both ways, especially with the fact that he's missed the opening rail. At this point, you've only got a minute left. If Garpy does get a kill and equalize it, at the very least, he could also delay, try and play it out for the sudden death. He's chasing like a hungry hyena, but he can't quite catch up with his target, Sparty. A little bit too fast. Garpy needs a kill, and he needs it right now to put himself back in the action. He has his classic rocket in hand, though. Sparty is so low, but he's barely holding on to life, somehow clutching on. The rocket should finish him off, but it won't do it! Sparty returns fire with the rail. That's it. Surely that is the tombstone finisher.
I mean, even if Garpy can get a refrag here on spawn, it doesn't matter because there's so much time being wasted. He had to hit that rail. He had to put everything into it. And not only did it not hit its mark, Sparty got the chase down instead. He's going to get a frag here, but it might be too little too late. He has to get a perfect spawn in 5 seconds. Sparty GG's before he even spawns. He knows time is on his side. Garpy may have got the frag, but ultimately it was the missed rail that sealed the deal before we even came to 10 minutes.
That's so rough as well. That's basically the exact opposite of what we saw on the first map there. So close the entire time. Both of them playing such a delay controlling style of the game. It felt like Garpy also had overall control of the map basically the entire time. Right? You can see off the back of the pickups, pretty much he was in charge. He looked very dominant for the most part. It's just the fact once they got into that fight and there was the one frag lead, Sparty knew all he had to do was just waste time, and he sat there burning that clock down as much as possible for the entire length of the game. Literally one frag. Like, it's so ridiculous that it's actually being decided like this. But this is the best case now, Ryan. They both got a map each. This provides us with something that is going to be absolutely wonderful on number 3.
Well, it was interesting to me because I feel like Sparty actually gave Garpy that information quite early on, you know, where he was deliberately like nowhere to be seen when it was Mega and Heavy spawning. You know, that kind of like very obvious, I think, stalling and delay and defensive play. Normally someone might try and give it that information to the player. They'll try and be a bit less obvious with it by the end of the map, purely because if you're trying to be kind of out in the open that you're now trying to slow the pace down and you want to play by frag limit, or at least, you know, by a small difference in frags rather than trying to constantly go in all the time, you might do it when there's a couple of minutes left, right? By the time they figure it out, maybe it's too late. We've seen that before. But yeah, I think Sparty was just very, very confident that if he has confidence in both his awareness of where Garpy was, and actually, you know, if you just look at the top of his screen, very rarely did he actually pop the piercing sight while he was running away either. He was pretty satisfied that he knew where Garpy was, even without having to use the wall hack. And that's good play to me. That's really, really calculated play where he went in with a game plan about halfway through, knew he could win on defensive play if the time came up maybe a little bit earlier than we expected, and that was it. It was a really good map from him, and as we said earlier, pivotal, absolutely pivotal. But now we are going on to the finale of our first series, Molten Falls. This is where disaster struck for Sparty when he fought Garpy in week number 1. This was the map that was about, you know, there was like a 30+ frag difference between the two players. Garpy just putting on an aim clinic by the end of things. So the question's going to be, is history going to repeat itself, or is Sparty finally going to, you know, like break the wheel and he's going to get the run back he's looking for, get a win, get some points, and we'll see what the future weeks bring to the table.
Well, it's odd though, because it's different in the sort of the sense of the way both of them are approaching it right now is that very slow controlling style of Quake. They don't both want to actually go for more of an aggressive style, right? You know, we're not sort of seeing that Wenger sort of aggression just coming straight in, just trying to hit hard and fast in every possible outcome. It's way more drawn out, and that's why fights are lasting sort of a minute and a half normally before we see another frag. If that's continuing and both of them are still in that stalemate position, it's really going to be up to fate. But we're back in Sparty versus Garpy, map 3. This is the decider to see who is taking the series, Ryan.
We're starting to see one of the champs of Molten Falls, Galena. So many places she can place those totems and just deceiving amounts of stack. It really takes the seasoned players to have that awareness of where a totem could be. Always expecting Galena to have more stack than you think anyone normally would. That's a really good rail. Sparty going in with the LG. The dual wield does not matter. He's taken far too much damage and going for the cheeky stuff. Did that totem even appear, or has he lost it? Looks like he probably lost it. We'll see. Keep an eye out, but I'm actually going to pay attention to that outline. He was trying to go, I actually think I saw it. There are so many deceiving locations that a turret can go, or a totem, sorry, wrong champion, that you kind of need to go out of your way to take them out, you know, and it wastes time, and a few seconds here and a few seconds there might be the difference between getting to a Mega or getting to a Heavy.
Oh yeah, we've seen some really nice placements, especially here on this map as well. Like, so much has been done with Galena in the the past couple of weeks that I've seen that have been really ingenuitive. So it's actually been pretty awesome to watch what they're coming up with. This is possibly one of the best matchups I could ask for as well. There's the overstack coming through though straight away for Sparty, so he wants to try and play off the back of it and get aggressive. Garpy is trying to hunt him down. He also should be able to take out some of those totems though. He's in position close by. Instead, it's the return fire rail from Sparty. He flips his way back, lands it right in the face, square between the eyes of Garpy. That's going to slow him down as he realizes just how low he is. He can't push the agenda.
Garpy did an amazing job of pushing Sparty away from the position. The problem is he couldn't finish it. And if you can't finish it against Galena when, I mean, look, she's overstacked. She's got all 3 of the totems ready to go. She can essentially get a free Mega if she wants. And if she just sort of sets up shop near the Heavy, who cares if Garpy gets the Mega in this situation? Look at this crazy stack that he's now looking at. And that's why Garpy's not fighting. He knows the totems have to be up. I'm going to do the maths. Sparty's going to be way better for this fight than I am. Let's try and do some chip away damage. He's not going to take this one-on-one. He can't. He hasn't got the health to do it.
Yeah, is landing a couple of nice fadeaway rockets, though, at least to try and soften up the opposition. He goes in for the Akimbo Assault as well, going to whip out both of those guns, as it's the dual rockets being fired down. Garpy is good with one rocket, but you give him two, he's going to be even better. At this point, though, he has to slow it down once again. Finally, he has the advantage in stack. He hasn't really spotted out any of those totems, though, that have been placed down. Sparty, once they do fall back into combat, actually pushes fairly aggressively with that lightning gun. Gets the damage through, tries to get the rail shot off, but it isn't actually going to connect. But once again, he's just able to back off. He's been wasting so much time. It's this slow style that he's been approaching each and every time that's actually been giving him an edge over Garpy.
Garpy's having a bit of a problem with these totems. I mean, ultimately, he hasn't really taken out... I actually don't even know if he's taken out a single totem in the game yet. He is going to pop the dual wield, so he's going to finally get an all-important frag that he was looking for. And now this is a bonus opportunity to... Oh! Ooh. I was about to say bonus opportunity to take out the totems, but Garpy's not looking for them at all. It's why I think he hasn't actually destroyed them. The first two he took out were with his own body. That wasn't intentional. There's a totem underneath him, hasn't looked for it, and it's what's allowing Spy to have such an impressive stack all the way. Does get a rail, but Garpy himself, if Spy were to turn on him there, he's not got a lot of pickups around to actually save his skin. So Garpy doesn't want to fight yet.
At least it's an okay position to actually take your time, though. You go 1-1, you know you're versus a Galena that will, at this point, basically just be roaming around, finding little holes and nooks and crannies to try and put her turrets down, but when she comes into your domain, you can pop this off, go for the dual wield and try and slaughter her. Unfortunately, that isn't going to be a kill picked up. It is a small amount of damage, but it's negligible at best, because Sparty can back off, sort himself out before the next fight. At this point, again, it's just time wasted, just time delayed to try and slow down Sparty. Going in with the rockets, though, firing off the warning shot straight into the LG. He's doing a nice amount of damage. Finally, he has the stack advantage as well, but he's so timid. He doesn't want to overextend here. He knows that Sparty can instantly just come in with a big play, so he's just going to roam around, try and be one step ahead when they get into the fight. That's the Mega being stolen from right in front of his eyes. He's so low, but it's close with the connection on the rocket. It isn't going to be a ring out. It isn't going to be a frag, though. Instead, it's another death, and now Sparty has the lead.
If you want to look at what's making all the difference, look no further than the bottom of your screen. The 3 flames are going. It means that Garpy has completely failed to take down basically any totem all game. Every time a fight's taken place, Sparty is more than stacked. He's overstacked thanks to the totems being there. Garpy needs to do something about them. Otherwise, he's never going to be equipped to take one of these fights. Sparty, he's going to run away, but don't count him out. He's got so many totems he can run away to. Does he really need to worry? Garpy has to do something about them. He's having such a hard time with it so far. You may think he's got the edge, but as long as he has somewhere to retreat to, you know, Sparty, there's reason he's sticking around the side of the map. He knows that if he gets damaged now and can retreat, he has that get out of jail free card. 2 of them, 3 of them, in fact. And if he can control this side of the map, Garpy ain't touching it.
It's crazy just how much control he's been given essentially for free at this point, and once again he can now even further push out that frag lead, although he is taking a ton of damage. He's been spammed down so much, but Garpy doesn't fancy it. He's given away the armor as well. That's going to be the pickup coming back through Sparty. It doesn't matter what is going on here. He's just sitting pretty constantly. Goes in. That's the free HP pick back up. Surely at this point this should actually be a 1v1 win for Garpy. He went for the akimbo play. Sparty trying to outmaneuver him there. That actually works out. He gets away again for free. Because
Garpy, he's both struggling to finish it, and I truly feel like right near heavy, not going in for the kill, I think that was a mistake. But Garpy, I feel like, I think what the totems are doing is, Sparty is consistently having so much health in these fights. I'm assuming Garpy just has no idea what stack Sparty's looking at. If there are so many totems around the map that he's surviving with, Garpy must be asking the question now, where are your totems? How much health does this guy have? That when the time finally comes that Sparty's weak enough that Garpy can go in for the kill, Garpy has no confidence that the health is where it is.
That's the thing, it's got him second-guessing every play he possibly goes for, but you just can't approach it that way. He needs to do something, and he needs to do something soon, and it's not going to be taking rails to the face, nor tri-bolt shots. As they roam across, the rocket's going to go down to try and deny it. Garpy, still alive at this point, and finally going in for a head-on assault, as he wants to try and charge in and do a bit of damage. Will start to tag up Sparty, gets rid of some of that sustain, but it's instantly gone, it's already back. He finds himself a free Mega, denies that even go in the way of Garpy, drops himself another totem as well, so he's just going to be living his movie right now.
I love as well that Sparty is not simply giving up the ghost. He's not sitting there and using his totems to be his form of stack, and he's letting Garpy run around and take the other items as well. He is actually using the stack he builds up to fight for heavy, to fight for mega, to make him even more in control. Now, this is a pivotal moment. Garpy, no! He goes down the jump pad instead. I know he's just trying to get to the mega as fast as possible, but he's having... If he just went the other way, he could have taken out 2 totems, and they're what he needs to deal with right now.
He has been starved the entire game for anything. Any type of advantage, any type of pickup whatsoever. He just physically can't get them. And anytime he tries to push into an objective and tries to go for some kind of full-on attack versus Sparty, he's either taking damage from totems, he's just getting overthrown because he doesn't know what stack Sparty's on. It's all just been taken away from him second by second. And again, Sparty, he's got himself a favourite corner to play with.
And Garpy's having a hard time fighting around it. One of the totems being gone. Information, but still damage. It's going to be stack that's not in his favour. A bit unfortunate for Garpy. Did fire one of the rockets towards right near rail, but only hit one of the totems. It would have been so good if he just got 2. He's going around the corner. He has to take them out. I know he's not trying to give himself information, but by leaving those totems up in the most dire of circumstances, I'm not sure. You know, it's very common that a player will deliberately leave a totem because they don't want to give information away, but at that stage I'm like, I feel like maybe it's worth just get rid of the health option, because now if Sparty can force his way back around that map and the totems are still there, Garpy will know at least that he's overstacked, because he knows he hasn't taken out many totems. So Sparty, and need I say more? Here he goes. Whoopah! Yeah. Free mega. Thank you very much.
It's so rough the way this has been approached. At this point as well, there's basically no time left. Garpy, if he wants to win this, or at the very least try and push this out to a sudden death scenario, it's got to be right now. You have to go in for a fight. You can't afford to just dance around the issue. You have to go in for the 1v1 and do so right now. Both of them, fairly similar position in terms of the stack overall. But of course, the difference maker is Sparty. He can drop that third totem at any point and throw himself into an even better position as it's going to go down. He's got the overstack now. Now is officially the deadline as well. 1 minute left. Garpy, a sneaking suspicion, goes in. Finally, we might actually see a frag come out for him as he does get the kill. The first time he's actually used the akimbo for an offensive onslaught as well. Before, it's trying to be using it to deny. Try and get map control with it. Force him off of going for the armor pickup. Instead, that time he went in headstrong. But if he gets the follow-up, that could be the true difference maker. Chasing at this point. Hungry for a kill here, Ryan. As he gets him so low, he might run straight into it, bouncing his way across, gets the rocket down. Garpy doing more damage to himself, though. Sparty gets away again for free. You have 30 seconds left, Ryan.
I mean, the question is, can he do it? He hits one defensive shot, hits the rail, but Garpy, he can't slow down. Surely he's going to retreat to try and get one more pickup, but he's going to get beat to heavy, and now the stack is not in his favor at all. There's a totem there as well. He has 15 seconds. I don't know if this is possible. He's going to have to both hit some miracle shots, and Sparty has to miss. That is a big ask. He's got 5 seconds, and he's just going to go around the other way. I don't know. I feel like I just maybe go in, try something. At the last minute, he gave up the last few seconds. And, I mean, if anything, that was just a masterclass of Galena. That is how you absolutely put the chokehold on with totems. And Garpy clearly had an extremely hard time around it.
It's rough as well, though, because it just feels like Garpy... You know, he hasn't completed his clean-out course. He doesn't know how to just get rid of those totems each and every time. If Zoot was here, he'd just be screaming the fact that you got to kill those totems, and he just